Hello and welcome into Walter Cronkite Sports Network's ASU Men's Basketball Roundtable. It's Rivalry Week this Thursday. ASU will take on U of A in Tucson at 7 p.m. in the first leg of the Territorial Cup. I'm Eliav Gabay, that's Ethan Gaines, and this is Troy Tauscher. Troy, let's just jump right into it. This week, there were two home games for ASU. They played Colorado and Utah, both really close games. What lessons can they take from that?
Well, I think the big lesson the Devils have to take from those two games is if they want to win close, they have to play great defense down the stretch. Obviously, they won the Colorado game by 1 point thanks to a pair of clutch free throws from Trey Holder.
Yeah.
But the bigger thing for them at the end of that game was their defense. Colorado only made 3 of its last 10 shots, and ASU played really well down the stretch on that end, and that helped them secure a win. On the flip side against Utah, the Devils were only down by 2 with a couple minutes left, but they lost by 6 because the Utes hit 7 of their last 10. And that's the difference for ASU. When they hold an opponent low in the end of games, they can win in close situations. But if they don't, they end up losing by a fairly sizable amount. And the Devils have to just make sure they're playing good fundamental defense. Obviously, there's a desire to gamble and go for the steal that leads to the momentum shifting and game-winning layup, but you can't do that. You have to make sure that you're playing stable defense and you're stopping shots, and if ASU can do that against these tough Pac-12 teams like Arizona, I think they can beat them in close games.
Ethan, we know the Wildcats are a very big team, and the Sun Devils are not a big team at all. What can they do? What can ASU do to deal with that?
Well, I think that starts and ends with Abina Oleka, really the only player on this Sun Devil roster who's had a lot of success down low this season, pulling down a lot of double-doubles, leading the team in rebounding by a pretty significant margin, over 10 rebounds per game. His ability to be able to protect the paint on the defensive end is going to be really important, and also getting some offensive rebounds, giving ASU some more second chances so they can get some more of those three-point shots in is going to be tantamount to ASU's success. Also, the freshman, Jethro Shishumpa, he's shown an ability to be able to block a lot of shots this season. He's been very successful with those kind of bigger, flashier plays, but hasn't been as good a rebounder as I think he can be given his size and athleticism. I think if he can rebound the ball a little bit better in this game, do some more of that dirty work, that's going to really help a small ASU team against a really huge and athletic U of A team.
Yeah, and Troy, ASU's success this season has really been dictated more by their three-point success completely. If they don't make the shots from downtown, what can they do to compensate?
Well, oddly enough, I think the best way to compensate for that is to take more three-pointers.
Okay,
and the reason
all right.
I think that is because, look, obviously it looks bad on the stat sheet if you shoot 5 of 30 from 3, and that's something ASU needs to avoid if they want to have a good chance in winning this game. But at the same time, their three-point threat is by far their most dangerous weapon, and using that and spacing the floor like they can provides room for guys like Trey Holder and Shannon Evans to attack the basket. So in this case, if the shots don't fall for ASU, they still have to be willing to take the ball beyond the three-point line and look prepared to shoot it. The majority of the scoring would just have to come from the spacing that provides by playing a little bit more of an inside game. Obviously, ASU hasn't been able to really make that work the way they'd like to this season, but if the three-pointers aren't falling, I still see a path to victory for ASU if they can leverage that space to play a better inside game.
All right, Ethan, last question. Simple as this, who needs to step up for ASU in order for this upset to happen?
Well, I'm looking to one of the veterans on this Sun Devil roster, Cody Justice. He's sort of taken a bit of a step back in terms of being a bigger part of the offense this season as opposed to last year where he sort of broke out offensively. But he's been a great leader for this ASU team, and I think his ability to shoot the three-pointer is going to be so important because, like Troy said, ASU lives by the 3, dies by the 3, and he is a huge part of that three-point barrage. And he's sort of turned it on a little bit more in these past couple games, taking a little bit more shots. I think if he can be a little more aggressive on the offensive end, that's going to be huge. And also defensively, he's been a pretty good ball stopper for ASU so far this season. And if he can play some really good defense, get some turnovers so ASU can continue with that fast-paced offense that I think suits them more as opposed to a slower U of A team, I think that's definitely going to help ASU's chances in this game.
Well, we'll see if the 3-ball falls for ASU down south in Tucson this Thursday at 7 p.m. But for now, for Ethan Gaines and Troy Tauscher, I'm Eliav Gabay. We'll see you next time.